Welcome to Houston Newsmakers Extra. We're talking with members of the American Leadership Forum. I'm a proud senior fellow of that organization. Nora Angel is the president. Art Chavez is the incoming board chair. Judy Lee does a lot of training of our senior fellows and throughout the area. Judy, talk about what is most important. When you talk about leadership, what do you tell people is the most important components that they should have if they're going to be effective leaders in order to make change?
Yeah, I think leadership has to create the process in which other people can engage to work collectively towards a common problem. And oftentimes we often think that leadership means that you have to make you have to know what exactly is going to work and have all the answers. And in the problems that we're facing now, we can't do that. And so part of what we need to do on an individual level in leading is how do you engage other people to face a difficult reality. The night before the inauguration, there was, a moment at the monument with all of the lights lit up for the 400,000 people who have passed away from COVID. That moment was an acknowledgement of a collective loss. And it was a beautiful moment, but it also was a way to say, we are facing a difficult reality. And it acknowledged the loss, but it also said, we've got to work on this together. If we can't ignore this and we can't look away.
Art, how frustrating has it been for you, and as it does for all of us, on a local level, looking at things that are happening on state and even national levels, and some local level politicians who are in leadership, and saying and doing things that you just say, come on. That you get, how frustrating has that been, and what would you say? What do you try to do to kind of make a difference?
It is incredibly frustrating because we all want to focus on progress. We want to focus on growing and expanding and coming together and sharing great moments and learning from one another. And so it is frustrating when we come to a stop. We become stagnant and we don't move forward as a community. And so, yeah, as a business owner, we are always trying to improve ourselves and be more marketable. As a country, we should always be doing that at a global level, right? How do we improve our image and our brand out there in the global community? And the importance of our community leaders, our political leaders coming together to establish that image and that vision in the name of all of our American community.
Right. Nori, the ALF has been on the forefront of a lot of things locally. There are a lot of people, leaders in this community. If you look at their bios, a lot of them have ALF behind their name because they've been through a process where they have kind of learned how to go forward. How important, because of the divisiveness that we continue to live in these days, it seems to me that ALF is more important than ever.
I completely agree. These relationships that we've formed throughout our network of more than 1,400 senior fellows locally and more than 4,500 nationally are key to being part of moving this country forward. As we're dealing, as Judy talked about, the difficult things we've got to deal with in our community that we have to confront, it is going to take relationship, because it's those relationships that allow us to have those difficult conversations, those difficult dialogues, and that help us refocus on what's really important right now to our community, to the health of our community and well-being of every single citizen.
Congressman Brady was on this program, of this week's program, and he used a quote from President Biden's inauguration where he talked about we're in this together, the United States of America, that sort of thing. Judy, talk about how the relevance of when people come together and they feel that they're in this thing together, does it more incentive to work together to get out of it? And does it make it easier?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the notion that we want to start thinking about is how do we be tough on problems and soft on people, right? How do we get really really tough and get all in, kind of like the ALF way, right? You're in to really tackle problems, but empathize out loud, right? Because those problems have to be initiated through common empathy and compassion. That's the reason why you want to engage. And so we need to kind of collectively gather that and center the problem, which, in what we do with ALF is we move from the individual to the system, right? We move from the individual to build the trust, to build the compassion, to build the engagement of diversity of thought and experience, and then we move to systems and say, how do we fix the systems? How do we make the systems better? Because that's where the problems are, not the people, it's the systems.
All right, I'm going to give you the last word on this in terms of the tone that we have, that the change in tone of the nation. Right now, there's a little lull. The rhetoric is down a little bit. Not that there's going to be a big honeymoon for President Biden, but the rhetoric is down a little bit. How much do you think the tone difference, even for this short period of time, is going to make a difference short-term and long-term for the leadership ability of our, quote, elected officials in this country going forward?
I think it's going to matter quite a bit. It's going to be quite significant, and I believe that the more focus we put on inclusion, I think the more progress we're going to be able to make moving forward. Inclusivity means a lot of things. It's that accountability to all, and so we can do that at the dinner table. We can do that in the conference rooms. We can do that in our congressional chambers. So it's going to be very, very important to move forward to include all voices.
Art Chavez, Judy Lee, Nora Angel, thank you so much. Wisdom beyond your youthful years. We're going to share this with all our American Leadership Forum fellows, and hopefully they will share it with everyone they know. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you, Cameron.
Appreciate it.